At the end of every race, there's usually 24 drivers with a unique story to tell. The story is usually focused on some of the things that didn't go so well. Some examples which I'm sure you've all heard are, we got screwed over by the safety car, we should have pitted earlier, we should have pitted later, we took too long in the pits, we should have qualified better, our car doesn't look after its tyres, etc, etc. While these stories are going on, and we do catch some of them during the race, there's a whole heap of moments that happen during the race that sometimes get missed, or that sometimes it's hard to quantify the exact impact on the race. What I want to do is have a look at a few examples from New Zealand and try to piece together exactly the flow-on effects from these small moments.
Just watch this very carefully. So have a look at Brodie there. You see the Scando flick coming into the pit lane. So watch.
Whoa!
Bang, pushing hard into the wall. That's right next to the commentary box. So he pushed it that hard that he's ended up putting scuffs down the side of it. We're on board with him now. Let's ride and listen. How's the slide? Check it out. Hey, she's dodging cars in New Zealand.
Sometimes we use the phrase, he got away with that one a little too flippantly. Kostecki contacting the wall at Taupō at the pit entry seemingly was one where it looked like he'd got away with it. What I want to do is have a look at the incident and unpack exactly the flow-on effects that ultimately ended up dictating the outcome of the race. If we take a look at the vision here from Mostert's in-car and we freeze it right here, we can see this is the moment that both cars are entering the pit lane. At this point in time, where that white line crosses the road, the gap between the two cars is 1.4 seconds. So if we have a look here, this is the moment Kostecki contacts the wall. Mostert makes a lot of ground there. And if we pause it here, we can see as the cars cross the white line into the pit lane, it's now reduced from a 1.4 second gap to a 0.54 second gap. So Kostecki, with that moment, has lost 0.84 of a second. Okay, if we fast forward now to the end of the pit stops, we can see that both pit stops for Kostecki and Mostert were basically identical, and the gap on the pit exit is within 4 or 5 hundredths of what it was on at the pit entry. So overall, Kostecki's lost about a second as a result of the contact with the tyres. Now this is really important here, because what we see is as Kostecki rejoins, we see another car appear just in front of him. That's Jackson Evans, who hasn't pitted yet and is on old tyres, and he's only 0.4 of a second in front of Kostecki. Remember, if the margin before was 1.4, so Kostecki would have otherwise slotted out in front of Evans, and it would have been Mostert being held up, as we can see here, while Kostecki was driving away into the distance, extending that 1.4 second lead. So Kostecki, Jackson's really struggling here. Kostecki makes it past finally, and Mostert goes straight through without losing any time. He's now right on the back of Kostecki, where he otherwise wouldn't have been. And then, as we'll see in a second, on the next lap is able to put it down the inside and make the pass for the lead. So this moment at the pit entry, where he had a manageable gap, all of a sudden he's got Mostert all over the back of him. Some traffic that otherwise wouldn't have been there comes to fruition. That small moment possibly dictated the race win.